The Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference, also known as the Congo Conference or West Africa Conference, was a pivotal international meeting held from November 15, 1884, to February 26, 1885, in Berlin, Germany. It marked a critical moment in the era of European colonialism in Africa, as major European powers gathered to discuss and regulate the partition of Africa and the establishment of colonial territories. Here are some key points about the Berlin Conference. Purpose. The primary objective of the Berlin Conference was to address the intensifying competition among European powers for control over African territories. The European powers sought to avoid conflicts and clashes by agreeing on rules for the division of Africa. Participants. Representatives from 14 European nations attended the conference, including Austria-Hungary, Belgium, Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, Spain, Sweden, Norway, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. No African representatives were invited to the conference, and the decisions made had far-reaching consequences for the continent. Agenda. The conference focused on several key issues, including the recognition of territorial claims, the freedom of trade and navigation along the Congo and Niger rivers, and the establishment of principles to guide European powers in their activities in Africa. Division of Africa. During the conference, European powers established guidelines for the division of African territories. They drew arbitrary boundaries on maps to create colonial territories without consulting African leaders or considering existing ethnic and cultural divisions. Principle of effective occupation. One of the significant outcomes of the conference was the adoption of the principle of effective occupation. According to this principle, a European power could only claim a territorial right in Africa if it demonstrated effective administrative and economic control over the territory. Free trade zones. The conference also established the principle of free trade zones along the Congo and Niger rivers, ensuring open access to these key waterways for all European nations. Territorial claims. During and after the conference, European powers formalized their territorial claims in Africa and established colonial administrations in various regions. Impact on Africa. The decisions made at the Berlin Conference had profound and lasting effects on Africa. Arbitrary borders created during the conference often disregarded traditional boundaries and ethnic groups, leading to conflicts and tensions that persist to this day. Colonial legacies. The legacy of the Berlin Conference included the imposition of European languages, cultures, and political structures on African societies. It disrupted traditional social, economic, and political systems and led to the exploitation of African resources and labor. African resistance and independence. Despite the decisions made at the conference, African resistance to colonial rule continued to grow. The conference and subsequent colonization fueled movements for independence, eventually leading to the liberation of many African nations in the mid-20th century. The Berlin Conference is a symbol of the imperialist ambitions of European powers during the late 19th century. Its consequences continue to shape African politics, borders, and relationships, making it a pivotal event in the history of Africa's interactions with the global community. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.